Hello, how are you all doing? I hope you're having a lovely day so far. So a lot of people seem to ask me the same question, and that is, how do you get better at chalking and doing the math side of darts? And I'm going to go through that in today's video. We're going to go through three very simple ways that you can get better at marking without even having to play darts or leave the house. You can just sit there, you can watch whatever darts is on TV at the time, and you can improve at the marking and you can get better, because it is a worry. People do seem to worry about it. I've got to a point where I could mark for anyone at any situation and it doesn't really make a difference because I've been doing it for so long. But I appreciate that a lot of people struggle, and it puts people off turning up to tournaments. And the whole idea of losing and having to mark is kind of scary to some people. So I want to go through a few different ways you can improve your marking. You can get better at the darts math side of things without even having to do much, just chilling, just sitting at home watching the darts. So if you do enjoy this video, or you find it helpful, or you have a friend who would like this video, tag them in it. Subscribe to the channel. We're nearly at 35k. If we've already passed 35k, we might nearly be at 40k. Subscribe to the channel, it means a lot, and leave a like on the video. The likes honestly mean more than you can imagine. As far as YouTube algorithms go, the likes are really important at the moment. So leave a like on it, that'd be amazing. Let's get into this. So this is all going to be based around the idea that you are sat at home watching darts on your own, with friends, with family, doesn't matter. And the first thing I want to teach you is a fun little game, and it's a really simple game. So the first thing we're going to do is a game called Beat the Caller. Very simple game. All you've got to do is say the score out before the caller says the score out. You do get a tiny little split second to beat the caller most of the time as well. So it's very easy to do when you get good at it. But if you're not beating him very often, then that's fine. The more that you do it, the better you get, and the more that you'll beat the caller. So all you got to do is say the score out before the caller calls a score out. And if you do it, you get a point. If you don't, you lose a point. Or whatever scoring system you want to do. If you want to do it in your head, that's absolutely fine. But the first game to play is just beat the caller. It's also a game that you can play with your friends as well. If you're with a group of people who all want to try and get better, or you just want to compete against each other, then beat the caller. Very easy game to learn. Very easy game to play, and it's going to make you faster. It's going to make you recognize the patterns and recognize the shots a lot faster. So, for example, let's take single 20, single 19, treble 18. It's a shot that gets hit all the time, but a lot of people might go, right, 20 plus 39 plus 54 is carry the number across. That's a 3, and then 8, then plus the 1 to the 8 makes a 9, so 93. That's a long process to work out the score. The more and more you play this game, the more and more you'll recognize shots, and the more and more it'll be more memory based than it will be maths based. So single 20, single 19, treble 18, 93. It's one of them shots that you're going to see a lot. It's one of them shots that it's just easier to know it than it is to try and work out. So once you've got pretty good at beat the caller, and you can consistently beat the caller and call out the scores before they do, next thing you want to do is you want to get yourself a tablet or a piece of paper, and you want to just chalk along, basically. So this isn't going to be a video going over how to count. This is just going to be a video on how to improve at counting, because you should already have some sort of knowledge on how to count. So let's say you're playing beat the caller, and the guy scores 140. So write down 140 and then try and work out what he's left, and try and do it before you look at the graphic. So you can see the graphic. You can cheat if you want, but you're not going to get any better. So here, 361, look up, make sure it is 361, and it's correct. Next shot, 75. I don't know what this guy's scoring. He's going to hit a 75. Have a look down. That's going to be a 6, that's going to be an 8, and that's going to be a 2. Look up, it's the correct score. He scores another score. He scores, I don't know, 57. That's going to be a 9, that's going to be a 2, and that's going to be a 2. This side of maths is going to be something that you'll pick up over time. But as far as just having something to play, having something to do while you're watching the game, it's a good way of doing it. And you can do both players as well. If you want to make it a little bit harder for yourself, instead of just picking one player and doing his scores, do both scores. Work out both players' scores as you go at the same time, and you'll get better and you'll improve. And the last thing is something that I touched on a little bit earlier, but it's a very simple thing, and it is recognizing shots, and it is recognizing where players are going to be going as well. So there's two things in that one. One is recognizing the shots, like I said earlier with the 93, with the 20, 19, treble 18. It's easier to recognize it and know it's 93 than it is to work out that it's 93, and that is something that will come with time. But another thing is recognizing what the players are on, and knowing and sort of predicting where they're going to go. because that is going to make your life a lot easier. If a player's on 309 and you're there looking at the 20s and they start banging treble 19s in and you don't know what's going on, it's going to make the game a lot harder. So if they're on 309, they're going to go a certain way to leave a finish. If they're a professional dart player, they will do anyway. So the first dart's going to be at the treble 19. If they hit a treble, they'll go for another one and then throw their last dart at the bullseye, because treble 19, 25 would leave you 170. Treble 19, bullseye would leave you 145. Or if they hit a single 20, or if they hit a single 19 first dart, they'll go 2 darts at treble 20, which leaves 139 as well. It's just recognizing shots like that and knowing when to expect different targets to be hit. And that's, again, something that's going to come with time. So predicting the outshot basically is this game. If you're looking at a score and someone's on 144, you might just say to yourself, without trying to look at the little checkout helper, try and maybe put a bit of paper over that part of your TV, whatever. But trying to work out where they're going to go and how they're going to do it. So 144, treble 20, double 12 is probably the way that most people will go. But if they hit a single 20, try and work out where they're going to go next. Probably another treble. If they do hit that, they'll leave 64 and probably go for a treble 8 or a treble 16 or whatever. And it's things like that you're going to pick up over time and you're going to get better at. So first game, beat the caller. Second game, mark and try and get the scores correct in as quick a time as possible. And the last game is going to be trying to predict where they're going to go and trying to predict their next start before either the commentator tells you what they're going to go for, or the camera pans round or something like that. But yeah, that is some 3 simple ways that you can improve. Start with the first game and then get progressively harder and harder. The first game's the easiest one, the middle game's it's okay, and the last one's a little bit more difficult. But as soon as you master one, or as soon as you've got good enough at one, move on to the next one, and so on, and you will get better at chalking just by sitting down and watching the TV. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching the video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, leave a like on it, subscribe if you're brand new. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.